What's up, guys, and welcome back. This is Alex from Beyond the Void Horror Podcast, and today we're going to be doing a spoiler-free review of Book of Monsters. Now, to give you guys a little bit of a background on this movie was a Kickstarter project that started in July of 2017. It reached its funding goal and is now being put out to the masses on VOD and Blu Ray. It's also an Epic Pictures and Dread Central Presents feature film, I believe. It is directed by Stuart Spark, who has done a ton of different short films. He's also done a feature film before this called The Creature Below. And so this is an all-female led cast, and that's what they were pitching it as in the Kickstarter, as well as practical effects. Now, it's a comedy horror film, and I think it is a little fun, but is it funny? I had some laughs in the movie, and I think it is a fun movie, but it wasn't like uproariously funny to me. But the movie doesn't waste any fucking time getting the party started. Now, the story is about a Sophie girl who basically is having her 18th birthday party, and everybody from school is basically going to be coming to her house to have this party. There's a couple of different love interest points in the film with different characters and things like that. But unleashed upon the party is the Book of Monsters monsters, and they have to battle with their friends to the death to basically save the world. At first, like right off the bat, like when I started watching this movie, they just started going ham with the gore and the practical effects, which I definitely appreciate. And I think that that's something a lot of horror fans are fond of, especially you gore hounds, of course. But I think this movie kind of misses a little bit in some of the comedy parts. It is good to see something unique, like a whole cast of girls who take on these monsters. I thought that was a good spin on things. It definitely pushes the women power button very well. And I think the cast of actors and actresses are very good at their job. It's not the best acting I've ever seen, but it definitely does get the job done. I would say that the acting is a little spotty at times, but nothing that is, you know, it was very tolerable to watch through the whole fucking thing. So, but with that said, there was a lot of comedy that was kind of like a missed opportunity and felt a little too, I don't know, it just didn't pop. But I did enjoy the gore, so that is a good thing. So I think for some of you fans out there that are looking for some sort of smaller budget horror film that provides a little bit of humor and a pretty good helping of gore, it definitely goes there with bodies being torn apart, and which is pretty awesome. I mean, honestly, like when I first started saying this, I was like, oh yes, thank you. But then the movie sort of kind of slows down. Some of the creature effects and the monsters that they use for the Book of Monsters is, you know, it is definitely creative. I will give them that. They definitely did a lot with the budget that they had, so I definitely appreciate that. But some of the creatures and what they did, you could tell that they were very creative about how they would try to execute such a big idea, because honestly, this is a big idea for a movie. And with the budget that they had, I think they did a pretty damn good job. So, I mean, the Kickstarter alone, I believe, raised like 45 euros. So it was pretty, you know, a smaller budget for a practical effects film. That's going to be very hard, but somehow they pulled it off. In the end, I think some of the acting was a little spotty. I did like the story in general. I thought it was a fun story. It kind of reminds me of something along the lines of Stand Against Evil. You know, it definitely has like that sort of Buffy the Vampire Slayer TV show, which is kind of what they were looking for. So I think they kind of nailed it with that. A lot of the acting kind of is reminiscent of that, of Stan, and as well as the Buffy the Vampire Slayer TV show. Is this different than most films? Absolutely. Does it stand out on its own and like just punch through the atmosphere and make it great? Not for me, not personally. I definitely appreciate what they did in this film, but it falls a little flat for me, barring the story being pretty damn good, which I enjoyed the whole moving parts, and they were pretty good about piecing it all together and kind of leaving little hints and stuff like that throughout the film. So I like that. But overall, I think this movie for me is probably going to be around a 6. So above average, definitely in the genre of, damn, what can you do with that kind of money with a bigger budget? Like, I would love to see more. But it just kind of missed it a little bit for me. I don't think this is going to be a movie for everybody, which is kind of redundant to say because it's like everybody always says that. But if you're a fan of like smaller budget films and you like creativity, you like gore, and you want to see a strong female lead cast, I think this movie will be pretty decent for you. And I think that you'll enjoy it. After that, it's up to, personal preference, I guess. But Book of Monsters is a decent movie that kind of misses a few opportunities, but did a really amazing job with the budget that they had. So I think it's worth a rent if you're looking for something new. We're not seeing a whole lot of horror movies right at this moment, not before summer, you know what I mean, before it kicks off. But they're definitely going to be coming here this week, after, and so on with us. As a matter of fact, this Monday coming up, we're going to be actually doing a review of Us by Jordan Peele. Brittany is celebrating her birthday, so you guys want to definitely wish her a happy birthday. She's been the longest co-host here for our podcast that we do. So if you ever want to check that out, just go to longlivethevoid.com. We have a ton of stuff up there, news, reviews, all kinds of stuff. So, but thanks for coming by, guys, and as always, long live the void.